All right, let's just jump right in. We are living through what might just be the single biggest technological shift in all of human history. And to figure out how to navigate this coming AI revolution, we're not going to look at complicated code or algorithms. Nope, we're going to look at history.
And look, this isn't just some wild speculation I'm throwing out there. That is the actual opening line from a research paper that's making massive waves in Silicon Valley right now. It sets the stage for a change so big, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around it.
So to really understand what we're up against, you have to look at the timeline. And the predictions, well, they're coming from researchers who have a shockingly good track record. And frankly, what they're saying is staggering.
And we're not talking about some far-off science fiction future. A huge AI report that's now sitting on politicians' desks maps it all out, month by month. By next summer, AI agents could start replacing entire departments. By early 2026, they start teaching themselves, getting smarter and smarter in a crazy feedback loop. And by 2027, get this, an AI will be able to code better than any human being alive.
I mean, how do you even begin to prepare for something like that? It feels impossible, right? But here's the secret. We've been here before, 3 times actually. Society has been completely turned upside down by technology in the past, and those moments give us a playbook, a clear pattern for what we need to do next. So, to decode what's happening right now, we're going to dive into 3 of those previous revolutions. And the first lesson they teach us is probably the most alarming one. It's all about speed.
Just look at the pattern here. It's crystal clear. Each revolution moves faster. The steam revolution took about 80 years to play out. Then came the electrical revolution. Boom, 44 years, nearly half the time. The digital revolution, the one most of us lived through, just 20 years. The timeline keeps having itself. And if that pattern holds, well, that means this AI revolution could change literally everything in about a decade.
So back in the steam revolution, you really had 2 groups of people. You had the Luddites. These were skilled craftsmen who saw the new machines as a threat to their entire way of life. So they smashed them. The government's reaction? They made it a crime punishable by death. Then you had the other group, ordinary people who, instead of fighting the machines, learned how to operate them. They became the first factory supervisors and ended up earning 10 times more than their parents ever dreamed possible.
And wouldn't you know it? The exact same story happened again with electricity. The gaslighters, an entire profession that lit up city streets every night, they were made obsolete in a single decade. But the first people who figured out how to wire a house, they became electricians. They jumped on the new technology, captured almost all of the opportunity, and built generational wealth.
We even saw this in our own lifetimes. Remember the Blockbuster clerk? They were part of a massive company with 60,000 employees, and they just had to sit there and watch their entire industry vanish because of streaming. Meanwhile, you had the first online creators, just regular individuals who saw the power of the internet and started building newsletters or selling digital products. They created passive income for themselves just by becoming the bridge to the new way of doing things.
So the pattern is it's unmistakable. And it brings us right here, to today, to the 4th revolution. This time, though, things are fundamentally different.
300 million. That's the number from a recent Goldman Sachs report. They estimate 300 million jobs will be affected by AI. To give you some perspective, that's roughly the entire workforce of the United States and Europe combined. But even the word affected doesn't really do it justice.
So here is the absolute crucial point. All the previous technologies we talked about, they were tools that helped you do your job better or faster. The internet helped you research. But AI is a tool that does the job for you. It doesn't just help you write the email, it writes the email. It doesn't just connect you to your customers, it is the customer service agent. This is a total game changer.
And this new reality forces a choice. There are 2 paths. The first path is for the people who try to compete with AI. You know the type. They protect the old way of doing things, saying, oh, nothing can beat the human touch. They just try to work harder. But you can't outwork something that is infinitely faster and cheaper. History called them the Luddites. This paper calls them the Submissives.
And then there's the second path. This is for the people who refuse to be limited by the old rules. They don't fight the technology. They master it. They use it like a superpower, a force multiplier that lets one person do the work of 100. They are the ungovernables.
The difference between these 2 paths isn't about being smart or rich or lucky. It all comes down to the one fundamental question they ask themselves when they're faced with this new technology.
The submissive asks, how do I protect my job from this? It's a question rooted in fear, in scarcity. But the ungovernable asks a totally different question. How can I use this technology to multiply myself? That question comes from a place of opportunity and scale. And that single shift in mindset, well, it changes absolutely everything.
So that brings us to the final and honestly the most important part, the builder's choice. What does it actually mean to multiply yourself, and how did regular people in every single revolution before this one manage to pull it off?
The formula is actually surprisingly simple. It breaks down into 3 steps. First, they learned the entire new system, not just one little piece of it. Second, they stopped trading their time directly for money. And third, they built systems and assets that could scale without them. Like the factory worker who created training manuals, or the accountant today who starts a YouTube channel teaching other people how to use the new AI software.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. History shows that this window of opportunity is always temporary. And like we already saw, it's shrinking with every revolution. Every single month you wait to learn and adapt, it gets exponentially harder to catch up. It's like trying to jump on a bullet train after it's already left the station.
This all leads to a simple but really profound truth, captured perfectly in this quote. The doomsday predictions always grab the headlines. Pessimists always sound smart and sophisticated, don't they? But if you look at history time and time again, it's the builders, the adapters, the optimists who actually create the future and, well, make the money.
So that leaves us with just one question. We've seen the historical pattern, we understand the 2 paths that are opening up right in front of us, and we know it all comes down to the mindset that separates them. The only thing left to decide is, which one are you?